What's up guys, the Strong Boys 19 here. This is going to be my latest update video. It is for the end of the last month of August, but I didn't do it right at the start of September. I had stuff to do. So throughout the past month I have bought, quite frankly, more pile of CDs and a few records. There is one record that I totally forgot to show you on my last update video. And I've also bought a video, a VHS, to show you later on in the update. I'll get on to the CDs first. So, the first one is an album from a band that I am really getting myself into liking, since that I've been at a phase of listening to some stoner, doom metal style bands, and this band is Electric Wizard. This is their album, Come My Fanatics. This is a later release, contains 2 bonus tracks of Demon Lung and Return to the Sun of Nothingness. This is a really good album, but I think the drums do sound very thin, and I know that some metal albums from the 80s or the 90s do have muffled style production on something very heavy in places. I do like this album quite a lot for what it is. A lot of people say that Dope Throne is the best one, so I'm going to be checking that out and purchase it in the future. The next few albums that I've bought are from a band that I really liked a lot, but I wanted to become a fan of this band since that I have been a huge fan of Mr. Bungle. And for me, being at a phase of being in love with Mike Patton's range for a lot of reasons, I have decided to mostly buy the albums from his era with Faith No More. Angel Dust. This was the one that I have absolutely played the most. I remember that I've played this album for the first time, should have happened some years back. But when I first listened to the album, I was so surprised by how amazing it sounded, and then I kept playing it over and over and over again. This album is the essential Faith No More album. From the beautiful artwork to the very grotesque, grim back cover. I will have to say, I have never liked meat. I hate meat, but not the people that eat meat. This is the 1993 re-release, which does contain the bonus track of Easy, which I've always loved, but the rest of the tracks are so great. They are unique, some of the best guitar arrangements, and the melodies were powerful, as well as the domination of the keyboards. Some of my absolute favourite tracks on this album are one of my main picks for the greatest Faith No More tracks. I love Land of Sunshine to Caffeine, Midlife Crisis, Everything's Ruined, Malpractice, Kindergarten, Be Aggressive, A Small Victory, Jizzlobber. You know, this is, to me, a classic record and my personal favourite Faith No More album. The other 3, I'm just showing these in random order. The Real Thing. The Real Thing is a really good starting point for Mike Patton, but obviously he has not found his big variety of his range at this album's time, because a lot of his voice on this album was mostly like a high pitch or falsetto style range. But this is an excellent album. This version contains War Pigs, which is a great cover, and Edge of the World. So The Real Thing for me is not a classic record, but it still stands out as a huge improvement of the style to the songwriting after the Chuck Mosley era. King for a Day, Fool for a Lifetime. This was an album that took me some listens to understand more of the variety to the album, because this was such a huge pack of different styles to this album. Some of the riffs on this album were excellent, not done by Jim Martin. They were done by Trey Spruance, Mr. Bungle's guitar player. But I love some more of the tracks. The more I kept listening to it, love Get Out, Ricochet, which is personally an underrated track, Evidence, The Gentle Art of Making Enemies, Cuckoo for Kaka is one of my top 3 favourites, Ugly in the Morning, Just a Man, King for a Day. A few songs I'm not keen on, like Star AD, and I think What a Day is a bit of a throwaway track for me, but I do love this album. Personally, my second favourite Faith No More album. And this last one, Album of the Year. This one is, for me, my least favourite in the Pattern era. I think some of the stuff to this album are really good, although some of the other tracks felt not unfinished, but not as a complete defining touch of the material. But Album of the Year does have its moments, even though that Mike Patton, I think, disliked this album as well as the rest of the band. It does sound a little uninspired, like other people say that it is, but I do like the album. The next CD is from a solo artist, an electronic ambient style artist that I have one of his albums, but I decided to have this. Aphex Twin selected Ambient Works Volume 2. I haven't got Ambient Works 85 to 92 yet. It's 2.5 hours of some very industrial, Brian Eno-esque, creepy, very spacious sounds of ambient drones. I really like this album a lot, but to love it, it takes me multiple listens to really get into the whole package of this material. Some instrumental compositions that I thought were beautiful and such a big landscape. Some people may not pick this as his best album, but for me, for now, I really like this one a lot. The other CD is a live album from Jimi Hendrix, which is entitled Hendrix in the West. I haven't played this one yet, and when I opened this, the CD jewel case is not in very good shape. But I am glad to have this for the collection, just to, expand my collection of my favourite guitar player of all time. I've heard some great things about that live album for quite a long while now, so that's why I decided to buy it. And the last CD for this update, this is none other than a huge, monstrous, fat-sounding, but heavy doom stoner classic of Sleep's Dope Smoker. And this comes with this piece of paper, like one of those Japanese CD and vinyl pressings. But Dope Smoker, I love this record. This contains Holy Mountain through a live recorded track. This is my favourite Sleep album, although The Sciences is close to being my favourite. I could consider it to be one of the best albums of the last decade too. I've actually listened back to the Jerusalem version of Dope Smoker. The guitar on that version is really present than this, because this version is very bass heavy. Yeah, this is a classic album through Southern Lord Records, and I do love Sleep. High on Fire, another amazing star band from Matt Pike, but Sleep takes the cake for me. So onto the records. The record that I forgot to show you from the previous update, Genesis, A Trick of the Tail. This album, I absolutely love it, and I believe this is an original pressing, which is a plus. Plays very, very well. Some crackling, and I think one skip, but doesn't hurt the record that badly. This is, to me, as I said from my album ranking, my favourite Collins-led Genesis record. It is beautiful, it's gorgeous, and it pours itself with such brilliance, especially for Collins as a vocalist. What can you say about A Trick of the Tail? I think still to this day that this is a better album than The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. A Trick of the Tail is one of these essential Genesis albums that you should own in your collection. The last two, I am really thrilled to have these. I bought these from eBay, and what these two are, these are original pressings of the Tony Martin era of Black Sabbath. The first one is Tia. Tia has always got to be one of these criminally underrated Black Sabbath records any fan should listen to and to get into this. I love the quality of the music to this record, and the cover art definitely presents that so strongly. It is still one of my top 10 favourite Black Sabbath albums. This is an original on the IRS label right here. It's definitely worth the addition to my Black Sabbath collection. And the other original is the Eternal Idol. Still a stunning piece of work. And for me, my favourite Tony Martin-led Black Sabbath album. This is on the Vertigo label. You can see the logo right there. I still find that this album cover, despite not being used by the actual model of the Eternal Idol, I still think the album cover is very nice. One of my absolute favourite Tony Martin Sabbath tracks, The Shining, you can't go wrong with that one. Ancient Warrior, I love Scarlet Pimpernel and Lost Forever. But you already know my reasons about this album. Still love it. One of my top 10 still. And it always will be the best one in the Tony Martin Sabbath era. And speaking of that time with Black Sabbath, the video that I have bought is Cross Purposes Live. Now, I was really surprised to purchase this for pretty much 10 quid, because there are other sellers on eBay that sell this with much more higher prices. As you can see, CD and video double pack. I do have Cross Purposes on CD, so I'm not going to put the CD inside this. Haven't watched this yet, but I did see a live clip from this show of them playing the Wizard. Sounds great. So this is a very rare out of print edition. That's what the spine looks like. And I'm so excited to watch this. All the entire show from start to finish. So there you go. That's my update video for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And I'll keep you guys posted for more videos in the near future.